talking about ministry in the marketplace, but let's go around. Let's hear from you all. Tell us your name, who you are, what you do, so on and so forth.
Well, I am the prophetess. I am Prophetess Nina Nero. I am the daughter of the late Bishop E.I. Nero. I pastored for a lot of years. Right now we're doing our, everything is social media right now. So I'm a prayer coach. I am a prophet of God. So, I'm here with my brother. My brother and I have been in the family for, how old are you?
39.
39. So that means I must have met Bishop when I was about 18, maybe. It's been longer than 39. You weren't even. He wasn't even married to your mother the time I met him. So, it's amazing. This is an amazing accomplishment. I love it. And you all come on down and get you some podcast time.
That's right. That's right. Lady J, what do you say?
I am Lady J, the painter, and I make it pop. And here I did some work in here, so I'm glad to have the opportunity to see everything come together.
It's
because
popping.
when I came in here, it didn't look nothing like this.
Wow.
So to see how it looks is just amazing. I'm just a painter. That's all. I ain't even gonna even try to act like I'm anything else. Just a painter.
Look, you brought the vision of life. We're glad about it. It's just amazing.
Thank you.
I'm Greg Davis Jr., Bishop Davis' son, but I'm a social worker in real life. I'm a program director of homelessness, so I'm a social worker. That's what I am. I'm proud of my pops. This is a beautiful thing. I love to see this. He is non-stop. I mean, nothing can stop him. He literally all the way up in real life. You know what I mean? Too lit. So proud of him. Glad to be here with you guys as well.
Yeah. This is amazing. And I think this is, in many cases, not just an offshoot of his ministry, but a continuation of it. As he does ministry in the marketplace. I was telling somebody the other day, I said, pastoring is beyond just a lectern now. It's with a laptop. We may not have a pulpit, but we do have a platform. Sure. And so how have you been able to do ministry in the marketplace to weave what it is that your God-given gift beyond just the church, beyond just the four walls, to hitting the community, to do something good in your neighborhood, to using your specific gift and your skill set? And how do you think people as well can do that, especially as we're in this new digital age and space of time that we're living in?
Well, I believe that people should learn to evolve because we are so stuck as a nation, as a race. We're stuck, and it's hard for us to evolve. And now, believe it or not, more people are online with worship. They're online with their books and their podcasts. YouTube is exploding our people. And so I think that as the marketplace infiltrates, it's been a part of the kingdom. Because I know this is getting ready to be real spiritual, but it is what it is.
I hear your preacher voice coming on. Come on with it now.
You remember when when Jesus went into the temple, the reason why he got so angry was because the marketplace had spilled over into the temple. And so his anger was not just because he was an angry man, but you all selling birds and chickens and ha-has and dodos in the temple. But that proved that the marketplace had already became a part of the kingdom. So if in order for us to spread it out, as you say, we must first incorporate the two. Why can't I have my own business and preach the gospel?
Right.
Right now I have a fleet of cars. I rent cars on Toro. I that's my business. But I also get online every night, preach, prophesy, and lay hands. So we can do them both. We just have to be focused on evolving.
That's good. That's good. Jesus did say, greater works than these shall ye do. He had to have known technology was a part of it too.
He had to.
So that's so good. If you don't evolve, you won't be involved. And our church is not beyond just footprints, but it's now fingertips. What do you say, Lady J?
Well, for me, what I do when I'm painting, I bring God with me. Well, God is in me, so he's with me wherever I go. And the way that you talk to people, the love, the compassion. And so when I first meet a client, it's just really me feeling that person out.
Yeah.
And seeing where their mind is or what have you. And so when I'm there, I'm always talking about God, because it's God that gave me the gift, God that gave me the ability, God that gave me the opportunity to do what it is. And so with that, I'm always talking about God, because a lot of times we start thinking about and putting it on we, I, and it's never about God. And so when I'm working, I'm be very honest and transparent. I don't listen to church music all the time. But when I am working, I believe that whatever I put in the place will resonate and stay in the place. So when I'm working, I'm praying. I'm listening to gospel music that is inspiring, uplifting. So I believe that in what I'm doing is a representation of showing that God can use anybody to do whatever it is that he has called you to do. It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. I'm a painter. They don't think women should be painting, but I'm a woman that's in there that is representing God.
You've done a fantabulous
Thank
job.
you.
Yeah.
Representing God. So it's just
Fantabulous.
making it known that it is because of God, bringing everything back to God. The Bible says, acknowledge him in all your ways and he will direct your path. So it's just acknowledging God. That's my thing, acknowledging him.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And you've made this place absolutely beautiful, too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Greg Davis Jr.?
Oh, man. So in my life, I think every day I'm able to incorporate ministry into my everyday life. My whole life, everybody told me I was going to be a preacher. They told me I was going to follow suit of pops. And I always found myself in the servicing or like the helps or Dorcas ministry or like something where I was able to help with the community. So it just stuck with me. Around like 2015, I started getting a passion to help the community and giving back as much as I possibly could, because I found myself in a place where I needed help. You know what I mean? So I said, if a person like me can find myself where I need help, go to church every day, play drums, sacrifice, give everything I'm supposed to give, tithe, all that, and I can still find myself, everybody needs a little help from time to time. So my past, I would say probably 7 to 8 years, I've been dedicated to the human services field. Every day I touch lives, literally. I'm able to witness and talk to people in my office and go through all kind of people who've been through domestic violence situations, all kind of things, you know what I mean? So ministry literally leaks over into my real life in the marketplace daily. From giving out clothing. So I still do ministry. I just don't preach, but I still impact and touch lives daily the same way that I watch my predecessors and my forefathers do. I just do it in a different way. I like to touch the streets. I like to go out. It's enough people in here who already feel saved. Let's go get the ones who really don't know what's going on yet and kind of tap into them. Right. So that's my life. That's how I feel like I'm able to bring ministry into the marketplace, is through my human services aspect of my life every day. Literally.
Do you realize that Jesus was a human service worker?
Oh yeah, he was the biggest social worker in the world. He was paying rent before hood.
giving out free health care.
Right.
He was the real Salvation Army.
Right. He was the first
for sure.
social worker.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, though, like he said, you don't have to be in a pulpit to minister the word. It's like sometimes even when I'm dealing with my clients, they can be so discouraged and just be like, oh my gosh, what did I get into or whatever. And to be able to have the word inside of you and in those moments to be able to minister to someone, to speak peace over someone, to actually stop and pray with someone when they are really going through and feeling like, yeah, I don't want to do this business stuff. I don't want to be an entrepreneur. But to be able to pray with them and encourage them, that to me is bigger than honestly being in a pulpit every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever. Being able to reach people out there. Like he said, it's people in church already. What about those that are not out there? And just to give hope for those that are lost and discouraged. That's why I enjoy doing what I do, because it's still me ministering, just not in the pulpit.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like the paint that you put on the walls, the music that radiates in the building, has helped entrepreneurs become more successful because of your hands?
I absolutely do believe that, because there's a lot of businesses that I have done that has been on TV, magazines, all kinds of things, and it's still like, just when I'm sitting here looking at this, to have had the opportunity to do this, to know where I have come from, you know, this is just amazing to me that God gave me this gift. I never went to school for any of this. So I know that it's a God thing. So that's why I will never be ashamed to tell anyone that it is God,
Girl,
and
touch
to
my
bring it
hand,
back
girl.
to God.
Come on. And that's why those who are listening need to sow into the vision. We're here at GroundBreaking Podcast Studio, Detroit. Go to gbpodcastdetroit.com. They've got 7 amazing sets here. You need to find your place and your space and your face in this particular building. You know, they say an entrepreneur is like one who jumps off a cliff and builds a plane on the way down without a parachute. Our Bishop Greg Davis has taken the risk and the reward through all the red tape. He's cut the red ribbon and been able to bring it to fruition. He is literally a cut above the rest.
Yeah, literally.
Shout out to Bishop Greg.
Shout out to Bishop Greg Davis. Go with God is more than a slogan. It's about execution. And so, so as we think about it, you know, they say as in church, salvation is free, but ministry costs.
Yeah.
And we think about a new generation of young people who are coming up who are more spiritual than ever, according to a Barna Christian study group, but they are more disconnected from church than ever before. They're in New Age. They're in counting crystals. They're in reciting Beyonce lines, however you want to feel about that. Sage and all type of stuff. What do you think the church needs to do, especially as we move forward post-pandemic, to attract millennials, Gen Zers, as we move forward? What do you think the church needs to do?
I think we need to stop sending people to hell.
That part.
Let me say that again.
Come on, she said, let me take my glass off on that one.
I think we need to stop condemning people for being human beings.
Wow.
The Bible says, now, can I go with scripture? It says that I was actually born in sin and then shapen in iniquity. And so my whole life, look, I was formed from the dust. I don't care how many showers I've had. I'm going to roll some dirt off somewhere. I'm going to get out of the shower and roll off some dirt. Because I was created from dirt. So we keep expecting people to be clean. We keep expecting them to be perfect. We keep preaching at them. If somebody would just minister to me, the reason why Beyonce is so profound is because they relate to her as a human being. And we don't see people as people. We see them as tithes, offerings, cooks. And so when you stop seeing people as sheep, God called them dumb. He said, y'all some of the dumbest. Y'all, the script. I didn't say it. The scripture said. He said they dumb. You have to literally move a sheep's mouth from one segment of grass because he'll eat the dirt.
Wow.
If you don't literally move his mouth. So we already have a powerful tool, which is called the Word of God. Find the love scriptures in there. Why you got to find all the ones that call me a whore? I know what I am. I don't need you to tell me that. I don't need you to tell me I'm a homosexual. I knew that when I came here. So tell me, who loves me through this?
Wow.
Who loves me beyond this? Who makes me feel that this sin, because it don't have nothing to do with my heart. This is my body that's all messed up. My heart ain't bad. I love God with everything in me. But my body craves something else. So we're preaching to people and not loving people. I think the church, if they would just turn it over to love, that's why people can go to Beyonce concerts and watch her fly. Oh, what did I just say?
Beehive, you better not come for her either.
Did I just say I was there? Watch her fly across the stadium and cheer for her because she's radiating love. That's what Jesus is, but the church don't. We missed that part.
Wow.
I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like if we were real from the beginning, from the very beginning, church will be different. The problem is we go in acting like we got it together. And I hate to say this, I'm not trying to throw no shade. From leadership down. I feel like it's like we go in there and we like, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. But you're not doing this, and that. So I feel like if we go in there and be like, you know what, I'm a whole mess, you know what I'm saying? But listen, if we work together, What's going on with you? Let's talk about it. If we're transparent,
Right.
We're not
Right.
transparent. We're not honest. And these young people, they want realness. They want you to say,
Yeah.
you know what?
Right.
My flesh is weak right now. I really want to go in there and get it cracking and what have you. But
Sure.
Somebody lead me to the
can't.
mic. Sure.
But you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
it's like being real, being
Yeah.
transparent, and actually caring
Caring.
about
Yeah.
me and what's going on with me.
And being relatable.
You're not. People
Being
don't
able
relate.
to
They
be-
don't relate. So I feel
If I can't touch you, then I can't heal you. And most of us right now are so broken and we're so hurt. You know, life then kicked us dead,
right.
and instead of you helping us up, you keep kicking me.
But church is a hospital. Everybody got some form of sickness, as they say.
That's the
That's
point.
not a
Yeah.
hospital no more.
It's not
It's
no
a
more.
trauma center.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
not a hospital.
It's trauma center.
Because too many people are going in the same way and leaving out the same way. We're not healing people.
Life application.
We're
It's not
actually hurting people. And I've said this before, and it's going to ruffle some feathers. The church really has done a lot more hurt than help to people.
Some churches.
Some churches. And it's not the church. Some people in the church, because the church is just a building. But the people,
Actually, we're the church, the building.
yeah.
Can I-
So
can I-
the people are wounded. But
Yeah,
but
we're not
broke
healing.
people break people.
Absolutely. There's still no excuse where it's going to end, where it's going to stop.
Does it end?
It should.
It didn't end on the cross.
Let me. You're right. Let me get G
No,
Money
they
in
still-
here
no,
because
they
I want to push back on something, but I'm gonna
No,
let you
I
go
heard
say
you.
something.
That's what I was going. Go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
No, I was gonna say something. You know, we'd always talk about church hurt, but do we talk about job hurt? Do we talk about relationship hurt? A lot, and some for the people who listen, especially some of the pastors, probably say, "Well, you know, you got job hurt, but you still show up. You got relationship hurt, but you still show up." So there's gonna be hurt because we're human beings.
Right.
What do you say? What
Well,
do
I
you
think
say?
it's a little, and rebutting what you said, I think this is a little different because you expect those people not to be, they're just people. You work with them. You expect them to be, it's when you have the expectation that church people are a little different. That's when the emotional hurt comes in.
try to make you
It's
feel
all right
like
when
they
you go
different.
different places and you're like, oh, okay, my ops might be there because you understand. You kind of already
right.
you know what I
But you
mean?
don't expect that in
But it's
church.
different when you go to church and you like, oh, my ops here too. And they're not here for, you know what I mean? They're here to kill, steal, and destroy. Like the devil. They're here to hurt me. You know what I mean? So, I mean, well, going back to the other statement, I believe that for churches to kind of redraw millennials back in, there has to be a major shift. Gone are the days of Doc and Rev.
Right.
Gone are those days.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We're in a day now of where we want to hear transparency. Even if it hurts, it needs to hurt sometimes. Correction makes you greater. It builds you because you learn from that mistake and you keep going until you figure it out the right way, right? If you are sitting there and you're just telling me, you gotta be this and that, but then Sister Mary holding a baby over there that kind of look like you.
Oh, boy.
Are you talking?
I'm just talking about transparency.
But,
you know what I mean?
Is this like familiar?
No, I'm just talking transparency here, First Lady, Evangelist, Prophetess.
But we've been there. We've been there.
Yeah.
So we've experienced
Yeah.
what it feels like to have someone point the finger at you, and then they pointing at God, and then all the other ones pointing back at them. They don't pay no attention to none of these. They just, it's a horrible feeling.
I just believe that's the way that we'll be able to win this generation back. They're more, because of social media and different things, it's more transparency out there. I mean, you have 10, 11-year-olds that know what's going on in life because of social media, right? So we cannot expect for the smoke and mirrors to still work in church anymore.
You know
you
what
can't just
church
put on a
need?
robe anymore and come to church and say, hey, you know what I mean? I'm pastor right now because I got on my clergy collar. What about during the week, Doc?
You know what I think? You know what I think church need?
keeping
I
it a
think
buck.
church need cooking shows. They need mukbangs.
So you can see the real them, huh?
With fish fry food and
Right, we need a beloved night. You know, where we just sit and eat crab,
And just
so
talk.
that we can be transparent and for real. You know, deal with real issues that they preach over or we teach over. So I don't know if. What do you think? Do you think the church could ever be helped?
Sure can. We are the bride. So the bride has got to be all the way right before the bridegroom cometh, so to speak. So I think it does. I think goes along with many of the things that you all are saying, the transparency, the truth, and not just remaining in trauma. I think one of the greatest aspects of the pastor is not just to collect your 10%, but show you how to grow your 90. And all specific type of ancillary aspects, how to make your life work. Because he said, I came that you might have life
and
more abundantly. So how do we do that in abundance and superabundance?
And we got to think about too right now, speaking back to the millennials, they're at one of the points where, think about what they go through nowadays, what we didn't have to go through, right? It's more guns on the streets than ever.
Sure. Yeah.
More videos, more music teaching them how to be terrorist almost.
Yeah.
Everything has to have a switch or a glizzy or a glocky we had metal detectors in my school, but I didn't have to go through the things that my children have to go through. At this point, I have a 19-year-old son who's going to college, right? The world that he sees is totally different than the world that I saw literally 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Literally. They don't even got Eastland no more, man. They
don't.
They don't even got nowhere to hang out.
They don't.
They don't have nowhere to hang out. Nowhere.
It's the apartments.
You have to get them into football programs or something to keep them straight.
Yep.
So the battle literally for these millennials is stronger than we believe. And we forget about them because they just those were the kids 10 years ago, but now they all have babies. Now they need help. You know what I mean? We can catch them, but we got to work towards catching them.
It seems like that's showing our millennials right now. What's the name of that place? The Dunk. All of the what do you call it? Dispensaries.
Yeah.
I went past one. I just went past it. It was over by while I was driving by my house.
You rode past.
Prophetess.
I rode past it. And I noticed
you're 200 real quick.
Sped up when you got past it.
I noticed
Slow
the line
down.
that was outside, and I'm like, if there's a line outside, then how many people are in there?
Yeah, for sure.
And it was all millennials.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, after you had to be like 21 or so, but they were all young people standing in line, waiting on the Dunk place and I'm thinking like these people are raising our children now. That's our new church.
Raising our kids. Yes, it is.
That's our new leader.
Coaches.
That's who's guiding our world right now.
Literally.
If they won't, I live in Inkster, and when I was pastoring, they wouldn't allow me to put a sign on our church because they didn't want any more businesses on Michigan Avenue. But they just opened up 4 dispensaries in the same area. Yep. So our churches are being pushed away
from dispensary,
and dispensaries are being.
That just shows you what their focus is when it comes to our children. Yep.
Wow. Listen, I'm looking at some of this amazing artwork here, and we've got a lot of notable names and faces that if I just started naming. I'm looking at Martin and Malcolm, 2 of my amazing heroes. Martin being a Baptist minister, Malcolm X raised in the Baptist church. His father was a Baptist preacher. Did not become a Baptist minister. This might have been because maybe not enough of us came to visit him in prison. But just imagine, and I'm looking next to him is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And you think about the mosque, it's 80% men. You think about the church, it's 80% women.
Yeah.
Why is there a gulf? Why is there a gap there? What do you think we need? And not only can you answer it, I think our sisters can answer it too. What can change the trajectory with that?
I believe it's that smoke and mirror effect that I said. Real men, we don't want to see. We want real men. I go to a church right now in Lansing, right? And shout out to Bishop Duncan in Lansing, Church of God in Christ. But he is a man's man. You know what I mean? When I say that, I mean a man's man. You're not going to catch anything. He's a man. He's raising the men to be men. You know what I mean? It's not all about suit and ties either. It's family structure, quality. You go there, they teach about family and men being men. It's a difference from what we hear in our pulpit sometimes. It's a huge difference. So I believe if we get back to inspiring the men to be men and transparency from leadership so that men can look up to you and want to be something great. They don't have a problem coming to church instead of watching football on Sundays. But if I'm going to come up here and watch you shake and lie and I know what's going on in the background and all that, it's a little tough for me to come here and I can enjoy my only 2 days off of the week at the crib with a rib fest watching football instead of listening to you lie for 90 minutes of my day.
Wow.
Because you don't want to live up to what you're preaching. Men like to be led by real men. That's just my personal perspective on it.
That's true. That's true. We're almost out of time, but we're not out of truth. I want to get both of y'all in here real quick perspectives.
Both of those men advocated for relationships and marriage. And when you focus on the family, when you focus on marriage, when you focus on building the structure, then of course men are going to follow, because they don't want to be punked.
Right.
They want to be pushed.
Come on.
All I'm just saying is just being transparent and real. That will get anybody. People want to know you're real. You're relatable. If I don't feel like you get me or you understand me or we're not, don't want to be a part of it.
Period. All right, and that's a wrap, y'all. It's been absolutely wonderful with these amazing co-hosts today. We're here at GroundBreaking Podcast Studio, Detroit. The one and only Bishop Greg Davis has brought this vision to fruition. Y'all need to come support 7 Sets. Listen, you may not have a pulpit, but you do have a platform right here on this podcast. Go to gbpodcastdetroit.com. That's what's up. I'm yours truly, Dr. Eddie. Peace and love.
Dr. Eddie.